Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Property Management 101, and today we'll be discussing the best practices for managing your expirations. If you've not already done so, please watch my disclosure video as well as my why I do this video. And if you found this video helpful and learned something new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. This video will apply best for anyone that is managing a multifamily asset, but some of the principles in this video will also apply as well to some of the single family side of the industry. For those of you that are not sure what I'm meaning, by managing your expirations, here's what I'm referring to. Most properties and portfolios see different demand patterns different times of the year. For example, 3 bedrooms in most markets do not drive nearly as much demand between October and April compared to the rest of the year. Knowing this information, you can limit how many 3 bedrooms expire during this time frame to allow your 3-bedroom occupancy to really stay as high as possible. By managing your expirations well, you'll be really able to preserve your occupancy even throughout the slow cycles of demand within your market. There'll be some crossover from this video to my seasonality video as well. If you've not watched that video already, you may find that video is helpful as well. So I'll post a link to that video in the video description. There's a lot of software out there in the property management industry that helps provide this information for you, but in the event your company does not provide this software, here's a few things that may be helpful for you. Number one, determine what should be your high and low months. You really want to make sure you determine what months your portfolio or property should allow the most expirations and the least amount of expirations in. If your property has been around for a few years, you should be able to pull a historical report showing what months you've seen the most amount of move-ins and move-outs and the least amount of move-ins and move-outs. I would not base this on the application dates, as those applications may not move in during the same calendar month that they apply. I would use the application dates though if for a advertising purpose, for example, to know which months you really need to pump up your advertising dollars compared to months that you do not, for example. By determining what months you have the most amount of move-ins, this should allow you to determine what months are best for your asset to allow the most amount of expirations as well, also and vice versa, what you should allow the least. By determining what months you see the most amount of move-ins, this should also help your asset as well determine what months you should allow the most amount of expirations, and vice versa for the least amount. I would determine this per floor plan, as different floor plans tend to have different demand patterns. Number 2 best practice to keep in mind, determine what is the allowable room each month. Based off your demand, you should be able to determine how many expirations you should be able to allow each month per floor plan. For example, if your property has averaged 6 move-ins the past 3 years for your 1 bedrooms in January, and you have averaged around a 50% renewal conversion in that month, I would recommend having no more than 11 scheduled expirations occur in January amongst your 1 bedrooms. Or if you do allow more than that number, to really make sure that anything above that, you've added additional premiums to those expirations that go over that limit that you determine. One suggestion I would recommend, taking into consideration that I would not always take it up to the threshold that you think you'll be able to backfill. If so, then you're basically saying that you never expect to have any terminations, any evictions, any skips, any month-to-month given notice, etc. And as you know, that's not realistic in the property management industry. And the last but not least, best practice to consider when managing your expirations, have a system to prevent too many. Determine what system you're going to use to prevent too many expirations that is more than your limit. Will someone spot check this on a weekly or monthly basis? Will you state this with your renewal offers that all terms are expired and first come, first serve and can change at any moment? If you do end up having more expirations than your limit, what premiums will you charge? What will your system be to help offload some of your expirations in months that you are over your limit? These are all things that I would consider when you put together your process to prevent too many expirations in a month that's going to be above any limits that you have or determine. If you do have any questions about this video or any of my videos, feel free to comment below. I'll be happy to address them for you. And hopefully you found this video helpful and learned something new. If so, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Happy leasing!